In July 2024, a devastating landslide struck the Wayanad district of Kerala, India. Torrential monsoon rains saturated the ground, weakening the soil structure. Entire villages were buried under tons of mud and debris, displacing thousands. The landslide severely damaged infrastructure, isolating affected communities and hampering rescue efforts. This event underscores the need for improved early warning systems, disaster preparedness, and sustainable land management practices. Collaborative efforts between local communities, government agencies, and scientific institutions are crucial to mitigate the impacts of such disasters. The Wayanad landslide began with incessant rainfall, triggering smaller landslides. The region's steep slopes and loose soil composition made it highly susceptible. On July 30th, 2024, a massive landslide occurred in Mundakai, engulfing homes and tea plantations. The force of the landslide reshaped the landscape, leaving behind destruction and despair. Communication lines were cut off, complicating rescue efforts. Neighboring villages were also affected by smaller landslides and flash floods, compounding the tragedy. Landslides, like the one in Wayanad, are often triggered by a combination of natural and human-induced factors. Heavy rainfall saturates the soil, increasing its weight and reducing stability. Wayanad's steep slopes and loose soil exacerbate its vulnerability. Deforestation removes vegetation that helps bind the soil and regulate water flow. Unplanned construction destabilizes slopes and alters natural drainage patterns. Sustainable land use practices and responsible development are crucial to mitigate landslide risks. In the aftermath of the Wayanad landslide, a massive relief and rescue operation was launched. The Indian Army, National Disaster Response Force, and local authorities worked tirelessly to rescue survivors and provide aid. Relief camps provided shelter, food, water, and medical assistance to the displaced. The recovery process is expected to be long and arduous, with extensive damage to homes, infrastructure, and agricultural lands. The government announced financial assistance for rebuilding homes and supporting the education of children orphaned by the disaster. Long-term recovery will require sustained efforts to rebuild infrastructure, revive the local economy, and address psychological trauma. Preventing landslides requires a multifaceted approach addressing both natural and human-induced factors. Sustainable land management practices, particularly in hilly areas, are crucial. Afforestation and reforestation efforts help bind the soil, regulate water flow, and reduce erosion. Stricter regulations on deforestation and land use changes are necessary. Responsible development and infrastructure planning should consider the region's geology, topography, and rainfall patterns. Early warning systems and weather forecasting can help predict extreme rainfall events, providing valuable time for authorities to issue warnings and evacuate vulnerable communities. The Wayanad landslide underscores the importance of disaster preparedness and community resilience. Educating communities about the risks of landslides, early warning signs, and evacuation procedures can save lives. Regular drills and simulations help communities prepare and respond effectively. Collaboration between scientists, government agencies, and local communities is crucial for developing effective disaster risk reduction strategies. As climate change intensifies, we can expect more extreme weather events, increasing the risk of landslides. By learning from tragedies like the Wayanad landslide, investing in disaster preparedness, adopting sustainable practices, and fostering collaboration, we can create a safer and more resilient future for all.